Hey, if you're new to the channel, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hey man, breaking news. Hey, I want to let y'all know, Sauce Walka, he spoke to J Prince Sr. as far as he knows everybody who's involved and what happened with Takeoff. Offset, he pulled up. He had a few words to say. He really didn't want to say much because J Prince Sr., he didn't want to squash the beef. He wanted to keep talking around, basically getting down to the bottom of everything that went on. So I want to let everybody know that I just reviewed the second recording, you guys. I want you guys to really pay attention to this and on some straight hood criteria. Hey, I want y'all to really pay attention to what happened. Like, they walked in there on straight business, like straight up. J Prince Sr. started tapping his bodyguard. Next thing you know, J Prince Jr., he looked over like, "Daddy, you all right? You good? Why you sweating like that?" But whole time, J Prince Sr., he already saw Sauce Walka walk in. Next thing you know, dude with the black shirt, he tell dude with the red shirt, like, go over there and whisper in J Prince Sr. ear, tell him, come in right quick. Takeoff standing right there by the door, the double doors. The walls closing in on them. The plot for them to take out Takeoff, it kind of backfired once he opened his mouth. Like everybody always say, if you from the streets, you don't talk about the streets. If you in the streets, man, stay in the streets and lay low, man, because you know for a fact that it's people out here who want to take you out the game. And one thing that J Prince Sr., he messed up on, he literally said out his mouth, and quote unquote, Lil Cam should have never been at that party. But at the same time, Takeoff should have never been with Quavo. Perhaps, do you guys really think that if Takeoff would have stayed in the studio or stayed back with QCP, that he would have never got sent up? Or do you think this would have happened like that? Do you think Migo Bands would have reacted the way that he reacted? Because in all actual reality, we know for a fact Migo Bands was only protecting Takeoff. If y'all think that he was protecting Takeoff when he upped the move before they even threw a punch or anything, I want y'all to let me know. Hit the like button. I want y'all to really pay attention to the way J Prince Sr. even jumped up and basically came at Sauce Walka and told him, like, you ain't have to show up like this, man. I told you I was gonna talk to you behind closed doors. So I wanna let y'all know, everybody that's involved in this, like, people playing their part. And Migo Bands, he looking at Quavo like, man, it's all because of you. You was the main one who had to open your mouth as soon as we left out the bowling alley. This all could have easily been avoided.
Like, for real, all of the people in Houston, they really know what's going on because they're close to the situation. They actually see, like, J Prince Sr. and his sons all the time. They see him every day, basically. And you're not going to tell me about how, you know, when they first started up, the whole thing with the Migos under Drake, like, they actually got a part in the Migos. So when they told me that QC sold for 300 million, I'm thinking, wait, who bought it? Because it sound like, and people are saying, and it really sound like it could have had a different little parent company that J Prince Sr. and Jr. ran together. Who knows, right? Maybe they could have found a way to where they tricked them into selling QC so they could buy it back. You got to understand who really had control of the Migos at that time. That's why Sauce Walka is responding right now. He says he sees what he's doing. He sees through all this BS, man. And it ain't going to be nothing, like, because of the fact that they even trying to take over Sauce Walka crew and everything. They wanted Sauce Walka to go sign with them. But it's just like the whole situation with Dolph. Sauce Walka and them wanted to be their own boss. That's why they started TSF. That's why they did their own thing. You feel me? Because Houston is big enough to where everybody can eat. Houston is literally like the biggest city in the country, and so when you really look at it, everybody can eat there, man. There's so many people, so many opportunities. It's like, that's why everybody be thriving in Texas. So many people out of Texas, like even Charleston White, man. And y'all gotta understand that with this whole Sauce Walka thing, he really responding to the fact that he knows and he sees between the fine print and between the lines. You got to read between the lines, people. You got to understand the connection between how QC gets sold for 300 million and how way back in 2012, 2013, when Drake hopped on the Versace verse, he was actually under Jazz Prince. like partially temporarily signed. And so when they work with the Migos, they all had to put their autograph on the paper saying that the Prince family basically runs the whole show, runs the whole op. They in charge of making sure they get their own deals and sign the bigger later on and everything like that. And so when all of this happens and it's all interconnected and comes back full circle, and for Migos to split up, for the whole Takeoff situation to happen, then at the Grammys for Quavo and Offset to get into it like that, for Cardi B to see it all happen, for them to put that all on the world stage, for QC to have to come and literally separate them and split the group up, and all of these crazy things, plus add in the behind the scenes talk of what's really going on in the streets of Houston, what really happened that night, man, on the Halloween, and what's really going on with the Justice for Takeoff. And so when they put all that together, you will come to understand, you will come to see the full picture of how it could have, and some people are saying that it could have been to where they were really trying to pull the ultimate move to see how, if they could get 100% the rights to all the bread coming in, all the connections coming in from getting QC. Don't forget, Lil Baby signed to QC. So who's Lil Baby's boss now? You gotta understand that it's not just the Migos. And so somebody came in and decided to realize that it's a great time for them to buy it. And for $300 million, that's a discount. That's a deal. You know how much money Lil Baby songs make? Especially after he blew up like worldwide after 2020 and everything like that, man. You gotta understand that these hits from the Migos from back in the day, after even the Takeoff situation happened and the Migos music skyrocketed, for somebody to buy it there is an ultimate business power move, because all the stream increases, the 1,000% increase is about to start, and it's been happening right now. And they've been in discussion for a minute, man. They've been in discussion, and now that they gonna have probably a big QC drop album coming soon or something, they gonna basically force Lil Baby and whatever the last few songs that Quavo has to do, because he's still like responsible for completing one last project. And so they're gonna make sure they get their last out of that, and that's gonna be the last time you ever hear from Migos and Quavo. They even might have make Quavo and Offset change their names, because QC owns that too. Y'all got to realize what you're really getting yourself into, because if you didn't notice, man, it could be while Quavo and Takeoff or while Quavo and Offset is arguing about one whole thing, behind the scenes, their bosses are actually making power moves behind their back in the middle of the night, under the radar, making sure nobody knows what's really going on. Then all these distractions happen. Folks getting slapped up at the Grammys, folks getting into it at the award shows. Cardi B over here screaming, she's seen too much, he telling them she both wrong. All of these distractions, and then in the middle of the night, they rewriting the whole history. They rewriting the whole Migos thing. They rewriting the whole QC, trying to sell it off. Boom, who gonna give the biggest offer? Boom, we don't even know who these people are that bought QC. How do you know that they not involved in anything that's been going on? Did they set it up to where they could tank QC and buy them cheap, and then boom, 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 make something happen so the streams skyrocket again? You got to really think about it, man. A lot of people don't be really thinking for themselves, and you got to, look at all the facts and put two and two together of what's going on in this situation, because it's all these crazy things happening, and they trying to basically blind people with all this extra stuff that's happening with the drama and putting that up in the forefront. And then in the background, behind the scenes, it's a whole lot going on that they don't even want you to know. And that's why Sauce Walka sent a message to the Prince family and told them that they gotta stop. They basically got to slow the roll, get back to helping Houston instead of getting into the mix of all these. And literally, J. Prince Jr. went on to the podcast and literally said and dry snitched on Boosie for the whole situation with Duke the Jeweler. And so they know that they people is hot on their heels. They know that it's about to be where all the details come out, because people have been talking. Like, there's actually people who done seen everything going on. They know both sides. They saw the whole argument coming about at the whole Takeoff situation. And not only that, but the ongoing issues that QC Ben knew about with the whole Offset and Quavo situation. They knew that something was going to happen where those two weren't going to be getting along, and it's going to jeopardize the group. And so that's why it's been a lot of things in the plans. There's been a lot of secrets that's been rumored around Houston, and people started talking in the streets, and the streets are saying basically that they knew this was gonna happen the whole entire time. They done seen the signs and they done seen every little hint of it way before. Like they could see it from a mile away. And so when the day it happened, it was like, dang, they really went through with this, man. I can't believe that they actually be doing this to our people or whatnot, to each other or whatnot, right? And so at the end of the day, man, it all comes back to, you gotta follow the money to where it all leads to, right? And so the fact that we're following the 300 million that QC was sold for. So when you follow that, where does that lead to? And are those people actually connected, or do they have a hand in play of what's really going on? How well do they know Prince Jr. and Prince Sr.? How well are they actually connected with P from QC? And did they have anything to do? Did they know about what was going on with the whole birthday party that night that Jazz Prince threw, that ultimately you seen Takeoff go to but never make it out of? And so with all that being said, y'all, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment down below. Let me know where y'all from and who you a fan of. Binge watch the rest of the video so you can get caught up on what's really going on.
The way MobTies move is like no other. I want everybody to know that they waited outside for them. Like at the end of the day, they was blocked in regardless of where they went. So while they was sitting down lacking like that, at the end of the day, we know for a fact that when you got your head turned to the opposite side of where the doorway at, and you know you from the streets and you know you got beef going on, you liable and subject to get whatever you got coming because you caused it. At the end of the day, we know for a fact the interview that he did, it opened a can of worms, and what's done in the dark always come to the light. Meeting up with who was coming to his city for his protection. So I want to bring something to everybody's attention. Everybody looking at the fact that Lil Cam Shooter was the main one who was watching Takeoff 2 hours before the shooting even happened. I want everybody to pay attention closely to what Gilly and Wallow said. Feds are stating that Cardi B forced a lot of people upon this path to basically speculating everything with this conjunction with Takeoff, and Takeoff what that basically brought to the whole city of Houston. It made it show that he had no sympathy for the people who he was basically. We can put all the pieces to this puzzle together now. That is why Offset swung on J Prince Sr. and Mike Prince tried to break it up. Okay, it's aired out there now. Everybody want to have the fact of what's really going on when we all can really look at this and really take full initiative to this. Lil Cam stated that the prosecutor was leading him basically to say certain things and basically deny certain excruciating evidence in this conjunction. I want everybody to know that we know what happened at the bowling alley is on footage, and Migo Bands, he upped the blicky before anybody even started arguing. So I want to let y'all know, when you out in public, when you out with a whole bunch of street guys, man, y'all know for a fact you have to be safe, you have to be cautious, you have to look at all surroundings. You know Migo Bands initiated everything because Lil Cam saw Migo Bands up the blicky. Once Migo Bands up the blicky, Migo Bands started blowing. Boh, boh, boh. Next thing you know, Lil Cam ran up, grabbed Takeoff. Everybody know what happened. It's in the footage, and I want everybody to really be cautious of J Prince Jr. walking over Takeoff and not giving, like, not caring. Cardi B was shocked at the prosecutor's line of questioning. I want y'all to know one thing. I want to send my condolences out to Takeoff and his people. Like, at the end of the day, we know for a fact Takeoff and Quavo, they rock with the GDs from Atlanta. Everybody know for a fact that it's more people riding for Takeoff than they was riding for J Prince Senior when that situation happened. I want y'all to really look at it, man, because they picking sides now. And when you start choosing and picking sides, y'all already know it's gonna be a line in the firearm. Like, at the end of the day, man, get caught in the crossfire. I want everybody to know that it's a short line between everything that's going on. We got to understand that we need to open our eyes to the fact that Offset, he know Quavo had something to do with this, and Gilly and Wallow, they vouched for it. They agreed on everything that went on. Offset, he only gave the feds what they needed to know. And I want to let y'all know that by him even coming out and basically putting everything on the table, it goes to show that. And then next thing you know, when everybody look back at the footage, you see Takeoff was talking to Quavo, whatever Quavo whispered in his ear before he got sent up. People need to go back and look at the fact that Lil Cam, he had his hands in his hoodie, man. If he would have never had his hands in his hoodie and then pulled out the blick and up and started blowing, like somebody could have saw him instantly pulling his hands out of his hoodie. This is what goes to show. Y'all got to be careful with the company you keep. That J Prince Sr. paid Wallow and Gilly. And the thing is, he didn't just pay one of them and did it under the table. He basically exposed the whole MobTies Rico. It ain't no joke when your own people telling on you. That's why you gotta be cautious of the people who you have in your inner circle. And again, this goes out to MobTies. I wanna let y'all know what the feds is bringing forth to the table. A 23-page indictment stating Moneybagg Yo was the main one who basically, he gave Blac Youngsta the $90,000 to give to J Prince Jr. And this all coincides and ties into everything that just happened with Takeoff getting sent up. I want you guys to know that Moneybagg Yo instantly, he rushed to J Prince Sr. He told him, like, keep my name out of it. We already got enough going on as it is. Offset not too happy about it because a lot of people heated due to the fact of one thing and one reason only. Everybody know that you got to be cautious of the people you be around. And then next thing you know, when everybody look back at the footage, you see Takeoff was talking to Quavo, whatever Quavo whispered in his ear before he got sent up. People need to go back and look at the fact that Lil Cam, he had his hands in his hoodie, man. If he would have never had his hands in his hoodie and then pulled out the blick and up and started blowing, like somebody could have saw him instantly pulling his hands out of his hoodie. This is what goes to show. Y'all got to be careful with the company you keep. Offset, he only gave the feds what they needed to know. And I want to let y'all know that by him even coming out and basically putting everything on the table, it goes to show that J Prince Sr. paid Wallow and Gilly. And the thing is, he didn't just pay one of them and did it under the table. He basically exposed the whole MobTies Rico. Exposing him is at its highest. I want y'all to really look at everything that Cardi B even put out there. She gave the feds everything they needed to know and basically implemented J Prince Sr. and what happened with Takeoff when Lil Cam ran to the car, and then next thing you know, it was the second getaway car that picked Lil Cam up. Right before Lil Cam hopped in that second getaway car, he passed the blicky to J Prince Sr. And J Prince Sr., he wiped it off with this blue towel. I want y'all to really look at what's going on because at the end of the day, it's RIP Takeoff or none because DJ Academics, he feel that Offset.
You forgot? Remember when you called up on me and I came to LA and met with you because you was nervous about your wife performing because she had them issues about using the word flute.
It's multiple people in Offset's circle who went back and ran and told J Prince Sr. what was going on and how he felt about the whole situation with Takeoff. I want to let y'all know one thing that we need to keep in mind, that it's a lot of lives at stake. We got to be mindful of the things we do and the people we keep around us, because one slip up and all your business is out in the open, and now everybody know where you stay at, everybody know where you going, everybody know your whereabouts. If you know for a fact RIP Takeoff before anything, we know for a fact that the Prince has been in business for a long time and a lot of people got sent up behind them. I know that a lot of people can really open their eyes and understand this is a revolving door, and we got to really pay attention to what's going on, because people know that the Prince, they took sides with Gilly and Wallow, and Gilly and Wallow, they kind of was out of line. No, they weren't kind of, they was out of line at the end of the day. Offset walked in there 3 deep. You can't get mad at him for going to check up on the status of everything that happened with his nephew. Respectfully, he walked up in there under a certain criteria to the point where he was only 3 deep. There's no way they should have even called security. And J Prince Jr., his little cousin, he was the main one who ran at the back. All Offset wanted was the footage and to basically let them know, G-check them about, don't come to his girl, don't ever sidestep and come to nobody girl and question they girl about no business that y'all got going on behind closed doors. It's a lot of people out here don't really understand the fact that life too short. You gotta open your eyes to the fact that Takeoff got sent up at his untimely demise. RIP Takeoff, man. Sad as it is, Quavo already took sides and he made a statement. The DA is basically saying Quavo's name is cleared through everything that happened. J Prince, he stated, why is Maya acting like that? Like, she's acting like that for one reason, because she know for a fact of the pressure of the Rico case coming down on this whole family and coming down on the MobTies organization. I want y'all to know one thing that they said about Offset. They said Offset, he fell back. They said Offset, he's not going in on them no more. Wack 100, he stated that everybody tried to defend Cardi B and Offset, but at the end of the day, they went off on them for no reason. At the end of the day, we know for a fact Takeoff was sent up at an untimely and unorderly fashion. Like, I know for a fact that people sitting back looking at this like, man, if it ain't one thing, it's another. You gotta watch the people that you keep around you, because the main ones who are around you be the ones that real life get you taken out the box. And from what they saying, everybody named the suspects who was in this whole ordeal, and the paperwork, it shows people standing around and it was 2 people arguing. I want y'all to really look at this, because Takeoff father, he's looking at them like, this ain't right. Like, y'all can't keep dragging my son's name through the mud like this. And we know for a fact that it's a lot of people sitting back looking at it like the Rico gonna be coming before they even know it. Like, at the end of the day, we know for a fact that a lot of people was accused in this, and they only got the people who they really wanted. Quavo, he spoke out and said that they grabbed Takeoff and instantly tried to rob Takeoff, man. Like, at the end of the day, we know this, man, and it's sad that he had to go through this. People need to show some type of sympathy or show at least a little bit of respect. J Prince Jr., he sent back, he gave the utmost disrespect. And however, again, this goes out to J Prince.